Professors who believe that they're not intelligent enough, that they don't have the capability to do the work, that they see them as criminals, deviants, dangerous, up to no good, or they talk about them with the they statements. They're lazy. They don't care. They don't really belong here. They're only here for the financial aid.
I'm giving you actual facts.
No,
right?
I'm giving you actual facts based upon extensive
and you can say, well, maybe they
research
just
that's
don't
been
feel
done.
good. But that's not the case. I mean, I went to university. I did not feel good, right? I didn't pull the best grades in high school, probably got into a better university than I should have gotten into based on my performance in high school. It wasn't because of my feelings. It's because I wasn't focused on it. And that, we're talking about a cultural problem, what's going on back at home, as was in my circumstance. And none of that is because of institutionalized policy. It almost seems like you guys refuse to accept that, Black students aren't performing well. You feel like you have to have this burden of responsibility when, in fact, if you actually wanted to help, you would look at the facts, re-examine the fact that it's not helping anybody, it's not helping Black Americans to artificially place them into universities, and you'd make effective change.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. My name is Elaru, your host, and today I'm back with another video I want to check out with you guys. This is called The Debate on Reverse Discrimination. This should be tough. You know the drill, guys. We talk less and we react more. Let's check this out.
Based on what I read, see in the media, talk to people about, this is a topic that almost everyone feels strongly about one way or the other. I want to hear what the audience has to say. Yes, sir, in the back.
Yeah, if you're white, someone can discriminate against you, but there's no systemic basis to it.
But if it's becoming part of the university admission process, if it's determining hiring practices, dismissal practices in industry, is that not systemic?
You could nitpick and find little instances on both sides. But I think if you look at it as a whole, then you begin to understand where it's coming from.
Who else has a comment? Yes, sir, in the back.
My name is Dan, and I think it's great that you try to fix some of the inequities that have happened in the past, but I don't think it should jump to the front of the line when you're going to college or you're trying to get a job. I think it's important that we address it very early on, where a lot of the major issues are happening in the families of some of the ones that are maybe disadvantaged, or if they're having trouble in school, it started at the elementary school level, where once they get to the admissions process or get to a job interview, it's based on your merit.
Candace, are we compromising standards if we do that because we haven't fixed the problem down the line?
That's correct. It is, the policies are harmful also to the people that they purport to help. And we have all of the evidence there to look at. When you artificially place a Black American into a school in which they do not belong based on their knowledge, doesn't mean that they go on to get A's. In fact, there was a Black adjunct professor, you guys have definitely heard of him, Dr. Thomas Sowell, who was teaching at Cornell University, and he found that the majority of the Black American students that were there were on academic probation. Now, these students were some of the smartest in the nation, but because they were artificially placed amongst their peers at Cornell University, they were failing on academic probation. These policies have never helped Black Americans. It's just basically policies that are put in place to make people feel good, right? I feel like I'm doing something when in fact I'm actually creating harm. You either know the answers or you don't.
When you say, hey, we have Black students at a particular school who aren't performing at that school as well, the immediate assumption that you're making is, well, maybe it's because they're not smart enough, they're not good enough, or they don't belong here. Whereas it could be about the experience that they're having at that institution. Professors who believe that they're not intelligent enough, that they don't have the capability to do the work, that they see them as criminals, deviants, dangerous, up to no good, or they talk about them with the they statements. They're lazy. They don't care. They don't really belong here. They're only here for the financial aid.
I'm giving you actual facts.
No,
right?
I'm giving you actual facts based upon extensive
say, well, maybe they
research
just
that's been
don't feel
done.
good, but that's not the case. I mean, I went to university. I did not feel good, right? I didn't pull the best grades in high school, probably got into a better university than I should have gotten into based on my performance in high school. It wasn't because of my feelings. It's because I wasn't focused on it. And that, we're talking about a cultural problem, what's going on back at home, as was in my circumstance. And none of that is because of institutionalized policy. It almost seems like you guys refuse to accept that, Black students aren't performing well. You feel like you have to have this burden of responsibility when in fact, if you actually wanted to help, you would look at the facts, re-examine the fact that it's not helping anybody, it's not helping Black Americans to artificially place them into universities, and you'd make effective change.
But you're making the assumption that Black students are academically inferior, and they're not.
No,
they're
you
some of
are
our most
actually.
brilliant students
that's
that we
the
have.
basic. No. That you are making the assumption that they are inferior.
You just said that they don't belong there.
Policies. I'm talking about the students that are based on the policies that you are defending right now, saying that we should have these policies that let them into these universities, not based on their skill set, but based on the color of their skin. So you are assuming that they are inferior.
Do you have a story or a question for
got
me?
him
Click
good
the
this time.
link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.
She got him good this time. For real. Because think about it. When you place someone in a position for other reasons apart from the fact that he is capable of filling that position, then he becomes lazy. And on this case, if you place someone higher than where they are actually meant to be at that certain point in time, even if in the future they're going to get to that high level, but you place them there now because of the pity you feel due to the color of their skin for things or sins done against them by your ancestors centuries ago, then you're just going to make them lazy. For real. Because definitely he'll feel like, yeah, everything's going to be handed to me on a platter. He's going to feel like, okay, all I have to do is go in, fill in the form, they see I'm black, and they hand it over to me. That's basically going to be it. So I think in the school system, basically in the school system, the issue of race should not be put into consideration. Everyone should be treated fair and square, equally. Because only then can you actually find out who's doing what and who is doing not. Only then will you see who's doing the most and who's doing nothing at all. Only then will you see that, okay, yeah, everyone has to work their ass off for whatever they're going to get. Only then will you see that there will actually be healthy competition among the kids. But when you even looking at it on the other side, like on the issue of the white race, when they see that no matter how hard they try, no matter how hard they work, no matter how hard they try to focus, then that position that they are vying for, if it's being run with them, if a black man is being run with them for that position, then definitely it's going to go to the black man due to sympathy. They won't feel led to do anything. In the end, you're just bringing out an unproductive society on both ends. So this particular ideology is insane and should be wiped out of the school system. Because not only in schools, as that man said, if it's going to determine whether you get a job or not, whether you get fired or not, whether you stay in a place or not, then you should know that that stuff is really going to do more harm to society than good. I really hope it's looked into, and people should see that this time the racism and the discrimination is now on most of the white race. Guys, please tell us what you think about it in the comment section. And please remember to leave a thumbs up at the end of this video. If you're just joining this channel for the first time, please remember to click that bell button to be notified when we drop a new video. And of course, subscribe and follow us for more updates. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.